Hey guys, let's look at some ways that you can change the line quality in Adobe Illustrator. Some quick ways to really enhance your line and make it more interesting. All right, let me share my screen, dive into Illustrator, and we'll take a look. All right, so typically when you're working with a line, all you're doing is changing the stroke size, right? So you change the stroke, turn it up, increase the size, but it's blocky and it's one size fits all, right? Also, by the way, if you don't see this menu on the top or the side, what you want to do is go to your window and your workspace. And I prefer Essentials Classic. That's the best one that has the most tools. I find that every time they release a new Illustrator, they dumb down the menus and they hide everything from you. And I don't like that. All right, back to these stroke lines. I've expanded the stroke palette over here on the side so you can see and adjust the stroke lines just like that, right? Also, pay attention. You do have these little caps that you can add. You can make a rounded line, extend the line, change the corners and so on, which is one thing you can do. But what I'm really going for is something called a profile. All right. So I'm going to change this line. I'm going to increase it, thicken it up, and then I'm going to go down to the profile here. Profile is where the magic happens. I love these different profiles that you can create for your line quality. So if you want to get that brush look, use that thick and thin profile. Let's try another one. Increase the size, change the profile. And this one's a variable line. You can imagine trying to recreate that with a brush pen. All right, let's try another one. This one's kind of a squared end, a sharper end. This one, next one, kind of an angled or a point, and it goes back and forth. You get one way or the other. Right? Another one, kind of a lopsided one, where it feels like you just kind of dipped a lot of ink on the brush, dropped it on the page. And then the last one, kind of like a semicircle, kind of a lopsided, bent line. So those are some cool things you can do. What's great is they extend as well. So they adapt to the length of your line. And so you can put them onto any curved line you want to create that cool profile. The last one I'll mention is a cool tool, which a lot of people don't necessarily know how to use. I'm going to select first, like the thick and thin profile, and then I'm going to look for the width tool. Now, it has a strange little icon that I always call the Loch Ness Monster. But if I click on it, you'll see when you go over to your activated line, it puts a little circle on the vector line. And when you click and drag, it actually either pinches or expands the line. Or if there's an existing point, you can hover right there on that existing point and adjust it. And so you can create these variable, distortions on that stroke line just by using the width tool. So you have like absolute control over the length and width of that line. All right. So hopefully that helps. That gives you a little something that you can try to change the line quality of your vector lines. Have fun with that.